Hey folks, welcome to another review with yours truly, Sam Healey, right here on the Dice Tower. Today we're going to be taking a look at this little gem here from Sidekick Games and the Op Games. This is called Aqua, Biodiversity in the Ocean. So basically we're trying to build our own little ecosystems and populate them with smaller animals and larger animals. Everybody scores points at the end of the game. Whoever has the most points is the winner. Let's get down to the table and take a look. On your turn, you're basically going to be taking one of these tiles and adding them to your tableau, and you're going to be building out your ecosystem. And once you get an ecosystem built, which is a perfectly sized hex in your board, that same color will be placed on that, and that will give you some points that you're going to score at the end of the game. But you're also going to have these goal tiles or scoring tiles rather, that are going to score you more points during the end of the game. And then there are other things that will score, like these larger animals. Once you establish some biodiversity in your ecosystem, that you'll be able to score as well. Now, these different scoring things have different abilities. Some of them are localized scoring. It's going to be talking about more things that are adjacent to each other and so forth and so on. And then you have other ones that are globals. And basically these will score based on what you have in your entire ecosystem. So let's say that I am the first person to go in this game, and so I'm going to look out here at the things that are available. The snail may be something that I want to look at, because if I take it right now, it's going to have me go last in the round, but in the next round, I'll be able to choose first. So that will weigh upon what is out here. Since I have a lot of things that I possibly could do very well at, I think I'll wait to choose that, and I'll go ahead and take this, and I'm going to place this right here. Now, when I place a tile into my tableau, I have to match at least one of the colors on the tile. I could not do something like that, for example, or this, or anything like that. I could do that if I wanted to. I could also do this, but I wouldn't be able to place this if I don't have somewhere to match at least one color on the tile. I'm going to go ahead and choose to do this right here, though. Now it becomes my opponent's turn, and they'll probably go ahead and choose this, so they get the first chance next round, and then they're going to choose one of their tiles. This is going to be the one they choose, I think, and I think they will... I think they'll choose to do that right there. And then we have one left that stays out there for the next round, and two more tiles are put out just like this. This will go back, and now they are the first person to choose, and so they'll go ahead and take this one because it'll finish a ecosystem for them, having made this perfect little hex area. And now one of these little clownfish come over here and habitate in that ecosystem that they created. I'm going to go ahead and choose to take this. It'll give me the last one, but I was already the last one. And I'm going to go ahead and choose to take this one right here, because that one fits really well right here, finishing an ecosystem for this little crab to come live in. And it also gets me kind of started on a new ecosystem up here. But now we come back, this goes back out, and two new tiles come out just like so, and I get the first choice. Now that I have the first choice, I think what I'll probably do is choose this one right here. That will go in right there, and now I've created another habitat that animal, this little jellyfish, will come over and live within. Now that I have some biodiversity going on right here, I can look over here to my large animals and see if any of them fit the pattern that I've created, because these large animals are put on top of smaller animals once biodiversity has taken place. So I have this shape right here, which is the same shape that these two animals here create, and so that goes right on top if I want to. Now, you don't ever have to do that. You can wait and build more on this biodiverse area here, and maybe I get another green one over here, and then I'll be able to place this like that. So it just depends on what you're looking for, what scoring tiles you're going to be going for, and so forth and so on. I will probably go ahead and just do that right there, and I have finished my turn. Now they are going to go here, and they're going to go ahead and take this and then choose another, and it looks like that's a pretty rough choice for them, but we're going to go ahead and do this right here, and that matches, so it's all good to go. These two will come out, and this goes back, and we continue the game like that. As we continue on in the game, you'll notice that there are opportunities for you to create reefs within your ecosystem, and so my opponent here has the opportunity to do that. They're going to do it right here with this purple reef, and a reef is 4 or more segments that are the same color. Now, you can't put a new species on top of that because it doesn't make a correct hexagonal pattern. But it does become a reef. So, now it is possible for later on for this reef to be broken up. But for right now, it's just going to be a reef of 4. So what's going to happen here is during the end of the game, small animals that are next to a reef will score their points again. So it's advantageous sometimes to make reefs out of the same color if you have a lot of smaller animals that are going to be adjacent to it at the end of the game. So scoring is pretty simple. First, you score all of your large animals. So I would have scored 11, 16, 19 points for that. So that goes right there. Then we're going to score all of our smaller animals. So our large animals will come off just like this because it still might be important for some of these goal cards here to know that what we have. But then we score all of our smaller animals. So we go 3, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 18, 21, 24 points for all of my smaller animals. And then we score our reefs. So I look to see if I have any reefs. I do have this yellow reef right here. And so all of the animals that are adjacent to that will score their points again. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12 points from my reef right there. And then I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all of my turtles, do I have any turtles? Yes. For all of my animals that are adjacent to this guy, they're going to score that many points again. So I have one turtle here, and I have 2 things next to it, so those 2 guys score me 2 points. 1 point each. Then I go here, and if I have for each one of these that I have, I'm going to score 2 points for every clownfish that's in my thing. Well, I didn't do too well on that, so I didn't score any points for that. Then I come over here. Did I have any of these animals, these large animals? No, I didn't. So don't score any points there. What about this guy? Do I have this large animal? No, I don't. No points. And do I have one of these guys, one of the sharks or the hammerheads? Yes, I do. So every one of these is going to score me 3 points. I have one of those, so that scores me 3 points. And then I don't have that type either, so there you have that. That's the end. So I add all these up, and that gives me my score. So you always score your large fish first, then your small fish, then you score your reefs, and then you score all of these, and then whoever has the most points is the winner. So that's about that for Aqua, Biodiversity in the Oceans. This is from the Op Games and Sidekick Games, designed by Dan and Tristan Halstad, and artwork by none other than Vincent Dutrait, one of my favorite artists for board games. I have to say that right off the bat, you knew I was going to say this. I was drawn to it because of Vincent Dutrait's artwork. I love his command of color. I love his the way he texturizes all of his pieces of art. There's just something about his artwork that I'm drawn to. So you knew that was going to be said. You know that's probably going to be one of my pros. On top of that, however, there's a lot of good that's going on in this game. I love drafting games, period. And that's pretty much all this game is that you're drafting tiles from the market, you're going to add those to your tableau, and then you're going to be able to score points on the different animals, large and small, that you have in your habitat, whether you were able to create any reefs, that will help your smaller animals score double. So there's a lot of good things going on. There's some set collection feel to it as far as how some of these different goal tiles score at the end of the game. There's a lot of great stuff in the game. So let's go ahead and get to my pros and cons. My first pro of the game, we'll just get it out of the way. The artwork is amazing. Artwork makes the game pop. Games that look good simply are more fun to play, in my opinion. This was going to be a pro of mine because this is my favorite artist. Now, what does that do for the game, however? I think what happens here is it takes what could be a very abstract game. I want to get this shape or this color next to this color. I want to get this kind of thing next to this kind of thing. I want to be able to cover up these things with this larger thing. It takes all of that abstractness and ties it together in a very welcoming and a very aesthetically pleasing package. That's one of the things that I really like about good artwork. It makes the theme believable, if that makes any sense. It makes the theme worthy of my time and effort. Maybe I'm overstating it, but that's how I look at it. My second pro of the game, I already mentioned a little bit, and that is the fact that it is mainly a drafting game, and you're going to be drafting those things in order to collect different sets. Maybe not sets so much, but you're going to be trying to collect different kinds of animals based on what specific one of these 6 different scoring tiles you're going to try to go after. So I like how there are multiple ways to victory depending upon what strategy you devise by putting together those different scoring tiles. But I also like the drafting and the set collection of it as well. So all of these mechanisms really congeal into a game that I really enjoy playing, and it's not difficult to teach. That's my third pro. This is a very simple game to teach. Now, there is one little caveat with this pro. Seeing the hex shapes that you have to connect in order to get those small animals into your ecosystem, that is a little wonky at the beginning. But it falls in line after a few rounds. Or maybe a couple games. I did struggle my first couple of games with this just by visually seeing how those hexagonal shapes come together with all of these different coral tiles. But it's a small thing. It's a small caveat. The way things work is super simple. How you draft, the order in which you draft, how you can set yourself up to go first next round. These are all things that are very simple to teach and easy to grasp. And that's what makes it fun. You have my first pro of a great looking game, coupled with this pro of how simple it is to teach, and people get excited about this game. I've seen it happen, and I've been at the helm when it happened, and I've been watching from a distance when I see it happen as well. People just enjoy this game because of its simplicity and because of how good it looks on the game, and I can't pass that up. My fourth pro of the game is the fact that scoring is super simple. Even with 6 different ways to score at the end of the game, it is still very simple to score. And it also provides a very deep cavern for decision-making space during the game for the player. And I like that a lot because you can pick and choose which of these different scoring tiles you're going to use at the end of the game. By the way, the ones that I showed you are just the tip of the iceberg. These are the basic ones. There are no less than, I believe, 17 different ways to score, 17 different tiles, and some of those other ones have multiple ones. My last pro of the game is the fact that it just simply doesn't overstay its welcome. It feels like it's done as soon as you would expect it to be done. But I guess sometimes you could kind of feel like, I want one more turn to finish my thing. That's not a bad thing. Because if a game leaves you wanting more, I think it's done its job. But this one doesn't overstay its welcome. It's over about when you feel like it should be, and I think that's a great thing. You're looking at about an hour, even with a little bit of a longer teaching time if need be. And I'm really liking games right now that stick within that hour to 45-minute window, maybe a little bit more than an hour, but really it's about an hour of time that you spend, and that's what a lot of people nowadays are really willing to spend on a game. Now, my one con of the game is going to simply be that this one does have that thing about it that a lot of drafting games have, in that, especially open drafting, where you want that tile. That's the tile that's going to be the best one, and the person right before you takes it, right before you have the opportunity to get it, and they took it again, and they did it again the next turn, and then the next turn after that. If you find yourself in those kinds of situations, you really need to try to find a way to go after something else that this person is going after. That's sitting right next to you, that keeps subverting your plans time and time again. But this one does have that feel to it. So if that frustrates you, you might want to try before you buy, at the very least, because it definitely has that in it. So now you're like, well, what do I do now? Do I take the snail and let everybody else choose theirs? And then, since I'm already kind of messed up, and then that way next turn I'll be absolutely able to go first. Those are the kinds of things that you're going to run into. So I do think that on one hand it is a con because people find that frustrating. But on the other hand, the game does have ways to get around that. So I think it's important that you let it have its fair shake and go from there. Now, with all that having been said, what's my rating? Well, that's really simple. This is a very strong 8 out of 10 for me. I do have that one caveat where it can get frustrating, but that's with any open drafting game pretty much. People are going to take the stuff that you really want before you can take it. That's just the way it is. Every once in a while it works out to where you're going to see it first and you're going to be able to take it first. But generally speaking, it's simply how open drafting games work. So the reason it's an 8 out of 10 for me is that, first of all, it looks great on the table, and I knew that was going to happen because of Instant Traits artwork, and they used it to a T. There is not a bit of this game except the scoring tablet that doesn't have Vincent's artwork on it. So they used his expertise as well as it possibly could be used, in my opinion. It's so colorful. It's so vibrant. It pops on the table. That's going to get it high marks already. The fact that it's an open drafting game, the fact that there's set collection in it, the fact that there's multiple ways to score for those sets, the fact that you're building your own tableau, everything about this game I really do enjoy. I'm really behind this game. I'm very pumped to have it as part of my collection. This is one that I actually bought at Gen Con. It's not a review copy or anything like that, so that adds to my rating of it as well. I bought this with my own money because I wanted it. And so there you have it. 8 out of 10. I enjoy it a lot. I think you will too. Go out and give it a try. Thanks for joining me here on the Dice Tower. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side, though. Take care.